A man that has traveled not only all across Canada, but across the globe. He's got an infectious energy. Today, I am joined by ikaze. Cam, thank you so much for joining me today.
Hello, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it. I'm happy to be here, buddy.
Excellent. Well, take me back to the beginning. How did you fall in love with wrestling, and what is it that made you want to get into it?
Well, honestly, it was my father, Papa Kazi. He was a big fan and would watch when I was just a little kid, in like the late 80s, mid 80s era there, the golden era, I like to call it. And yeah, man, I remember seeing Hulk Hogan for the first time and Macho Man Randy Savage. He had a VHS tape of WrestleMania 3. And I remember watching that and Andre the Giant Hogan and 93,173 people in Pontiac Silverdome. Macho Man and Ricky Steamboat just jumping up and down, didn't know who's going to win or lose. As a roller coaster of a match. And yeah, I was a Hulkamaniac, and that's my first memories where it all began, but it's because of my father, for sure.
And tell me, for anyone that's never been to a match of yours, what can they expect?
Oh, high-paced, adrenaline-pumping action. I love interacting with the people and the audience. I'm the charismatic lightning rod for a reason. That's no joke. It's not something that sounds cool. I am very blessed to have an organic connection with everyone that I come in contact with in those audiences. And as the song goes and the people are starting to sing when I come out, here I am, rock you like a hurricane. I'm going to take you on a roller coaster ride. That is my job, and I love doing it.
And you've talked in a couple of your different interviews about how you're just kind of this natural baby face. So you talked about meeting the people and stuff like that. Does it just bring you so much joy to bring that energy to the fans and be able to cheer you on like that?
Yes, that's just who I am as a person. But it's Kamikaze is myself, but amped up to 100. It's a good, healthy release. I couldn't imagine doing anything else. And me as a human being, when it's just down to earth, easygoing, out of the ring. Yeah, I'm a very peaceful man, and just like to treat people the way I'd like to be treated, with kindness, understanding, love, and respect. And I definitely do that with the fans when I meet them. I'm nothing without them. It's a symbiotic relationship. It takes two to tango here. They're buying the merchandise, buying the tickets, paying my bills, and in return, I'm putting my body on the line, entertaining them, taking them away from their worries and their bills, and just out of everyday life and sucking them into the world of professional wrestling. And I'd like to think I do a good job of it. But I never take them for granted. I'm nothing without them. You can't do this in front of nobody.
True, unless it's 2020, but we don't want to go back
say
to
unless it's the COVID era, but let's not talk about that. That was an awkward time.
Yeah, never happened.
Yeah, man, it was awkward.
Yeah, I believe it. You talk about, being this personality that stands out, people buying your merchandise, being that one-of-a-kind personality, and you're that type of person that kind of passes like the airport test of like, oh, who's that guy? What does he do? How did you kind of come up with your look and that persona that you have out in the ring?
That's another thing. That's just me amped up to 100. Like Kamikaze out of the ring, Cameron Toms is, an individual. I am a unique individual. I dance to the beat of my own drum. I don't follow the crowd. Try not to. And yeah, I mean, I've always been into color, and I've always just, when it comes to fashion and stuff like that, I've just done my own thing. I've never been insecure or self-conscious, and I think that's important trait to fight and break the barrier of, because a lot of people are, right? And but as soon as you can break through that and not care what anyone else thinks, opinions are like belly buttons. Everyone has one, and it's going to be good press, bad press, whatever it may be. But who cares? Just be you, shine bright, and that's what I do. And wrestling lets me shine bright, literally with the colors and stuff. Here's a good example. I mean, back in grade 3, all the way back in grade 3, I remember getting an earring, and I was pretty early, pretty young to be getting an earring. And then lo and behold, like within a couple weeks, everyone else was getting these magnetic earrings in their ears, like imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. I was always a bit of a trendsetter growing up, just daring to be different and standing out. I remember wearing same again in the early years, just as a kid, wearing like this taxi driver old school hat And all of a sudden, all these other people are starting to wear these kind of hats too. Like, so yeah, that's just, I don't know. It's just who I am, man. But wrestling has let me just amplify things. And yeah, I mean, that's what this is about. We're supposed to be larger than life athletes and characters. And that's how you sell tickets and grab attention to the product and to professional wrestling. So I am proud in that sense that I passed the test of like people taking a double take at you. And, there's got to be a presence and an it factor. And I'm blessed that I have tapped into that and figured that out, amplified that.
On the same note of like standing out, being that one of a kind personality, you've talked multiple times about Rob Van Dam being one of your wrestling inspirations,
Yeah.
not only in the ring but also talking about stretching
Yeah.
outside of the ring as well. Talk to me about some of your other inspirations that are outside of wrestling, whether it was like your early years or even now.
Outside of wrestling,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. If you want to get into that, I would say just the good God above. I think that's very important in my life and in general, in life in general. I think he's the most, you know, I'm a false idol and I'm guilty of that, but I try and like put God number one, Jesus Christ number one, and would proclaim the word as well to others when I can. It's my job, and it's my job to be bold like that. But yeah, he's an incorruptible man that was persecuted, for all our sins. So I would say Jesus Christ would probably be a big inspiration. But getting into wrestling side of things, Tiger Mask, the original Tiger Mask, is a big one. My father, big influence and inspiration. He like helped pave the way. He helped me. He built a ring in my backyard and just lit the spark for that and helped me go for it and live my dream and supported me and never doubted me and always believed in me. But yeah, Chris Benoit, I know that's controversial, but in ring, pound for pound, one of the best ever. Eddie Guerrero, Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, Ric Flair, Ricky Steamboat, Mr. Perfect, Kurt Hennig, Macho Man, Hulk Hogan. I mean, it's hard just to pick one, but there's quite a grocery list. Billy Robinson, Vern Gagne, Nick Bockwinkel. I'm into the old school stuff. I love the old school stuff. I respect it. And these guys paved the way for us. And there's a respect there for sure.
Good list there of some in ring generals for sure. You
100%.
obviously you touched on the old school guys there. You've done your backyard wrestling when you first started, but then once you started to get into real wrestling training, you
Yeah,
trained with Chi Cruz, the late great
correct.
Chi Cruz, and then of course you lived with Massive Damage for a year. He
Yes.
told me about how he got to terrorize you for that entire year, but also you got
Yeah,
to
he
you got to
sure did.
grab onto some wrestling stuff. Obviously, you latched on pretty good. What were your formative wrestling training years like?
It was a wild roller coaster ride, man. I don't think I'm one of the last group of people maybe that broke in a very crazy way. I lived in an unfinished basement, mice infested, mold. It had its own ecosystem, man. It had a crack in the foundation. Every time it rained, it flooded. There's centipedes and bugs and ants and mice in the walls and all over. And I just looked at it as paying dues, man. Like I just, but looking back, man, it was very gross living conditions. It was terrible, terrible. I lived there for, I'd say, almost 2 years. I would imagine so. Make them doing the math correctly, but yeah, it was just a crazy time breaking in. I was 19, and there were guys that had already been wrestling for about 2 or 3 years before me, but were a lot younger. They're like 15, 16 years old. And already they had like a seniority. And so just, it was like a psychological thing of guys being hard on you and ribbing you. And, and honestly, a lot of them were jealous too, because I was super athletic and doing things that they weren't doing. And I was a sponge and could soak things up pretty quickly. So there was a bit of jealousy there, and I got it pretty hard. And it was psychologically crazy in that respect. Messes with your head a bit when this 15-year-old kid that's been wrestling longer than you is ordering you around and giving you a hard time and ribbing you and making a fool of you. It was weird. It was a weird thing, but I survived it, and it crushed my confidence for a while. Not gonna lie, with many other things during that time. There's bullying and stuff going on and whatnot. But took me years to get out of that. But I'm glad that I am out of it. Everything happens for a reason. Definitely paid my dues. You always do, but that was. I don't think a lot of guys could go through that kind of stuff nowadays, to be completely honest with you. And on top of that, you had to look a certain way. You had to have a certain amount of muscle mass on you and weigh a certain amount before you could debut and have your first match. It's not like today. You had to look like an athlete, and it didn't matter how good you were in the ring. If you didn't look convincing to the audience that you could handle yourself, and say an audience member wanted to try you and fight you, if you just didn't have the build for it and didn't look convincing as an athlete in some respect, you weren't allowed to wrestle on a show yet. And so I had to work very hard in the gym and work out and put time into my body and be an athlete. And that's why I love this so much. I get to be the best version of myself, a healthy individual, strong and healthy, and an athlete. I'm proud of that fact that I get to be the best version of myself as I can be.
You're someone that someone looks at to aspire to be, right? Like, you're in this ring, you're this good guy, they want to be this potentially one day, and you have to give them that 10 out of 10 persona, that 10 out of 10 look, and sounds like you're working very hard from the early days to make sure you are that.
I haven't stopped, and I love the gym. It's something that I'll do till I cannot do it any longer physically. I think it's just great for you. You only got one body. You should take care of it and just try and be healthy and strong. My job is a little different, that I need to just, it's like a suit of armor. The muscle mass is to absorb the punishment and the whiplash effects. I mean, one fall in the ring, a bump, as we call it, is the equivalent to a small car crash. The whiplash effects and stuff like that. And just over the years, you got a bump card. You only have so many bumps on your bump card. So you want to take care of yourself. And stretching is a huge one. And just having the muscle mass to absorb the punishment. It's part of the job. But the byproduct of that is that I'm a healthy, strong individual, and I will continue to do so as long as I can. But stretching, man, I'm into longevity, and stretching is a huge one. I think it's foolish to not stretch, doing what we do and putting our bodies through what we put it through,
Totally. Rob Van Dam, obviously, one we talked about earlier, Trish Stratus, a big proponent of stretching and drinking water.
Oh, dude, yes, man, I drink so much water before my matches. I don't even care if it makes me a little bloated around the waist and stuff like that. I don't care. It's more to lubricate my joints and my tendons and ligaments. You're like 90% made of water, so like you're dried up. You're gonna tear something. So I stress, stay hydrated, stretch. You got to take care of yourself.
I've got a bit of a niche reference here for you. Tell me what comes to mind when I say Cam the man with the farmer's tan.
It's funny. I was just on a show yesterday in Raymond, Alberta for Canada Day, and I'm talking to Edward Wild III. He works out in British Columbia. I'm sure you're familiar. And he's got a good farmer's tan going on right now. His forearms down are just crispy, bronzed, charred like Hulk Hogan, as I would say. And then everything else is white. And clearly his shoot job, he was telling me he's not allowed to, he can't soak in the sun, and he's working long hour days. And I was in the same position, man. When I first broke in, I was working a construction job, Raywalt Construction in Edmonton, water and sewer. And I was in the ditch for 10, 12-hour days, slaving away, shoveling sand and hard labor. And I was wearing tank tops, but couldn't go shirtless. And I got one hell of a farmer tan, and that became one of my nicknames when I was breaking in, was Cam the man with a farmer tan. And I would wrestle on shows just like Edward Wild III with this farmer tan, but like the whole tank top, outline on me, and I couldn't even it out no matter how hard I tried. I was just outside in the summer, 10-hour, 12-hour days laboring. It was impossible. It didn't matter how long I sat in a tanning bed. There's no way that was evening out, until I stopped working construction. So yeah, my early years, I had the hell of a farmer's tan. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, tanning's come a long way, but back then, I'm sure it was a lot more difficult.
Yeah, I'm not into the spray tans and stuff. It's very hard to find a good one. You look like you're covered in poop almost. I don't like it. I think you got to either get natural sun or a good tanning bed. That's just, there's no way around it. So
yeah. So I've interviewed Brady Malibu. I've interviewed Ravenous Randy. Both of them you worked with on the show with Roddy Piper, World of Hurt,
Yes,
back in the day.
yes.
You've talked about your time working with Roddy, but do you still have relationships with the guys that you were on that show with?
Let's see here. I'm trying to think. Kyle Sebastian. I'm pretty tight with him. He's one of the owners of Pure Power Wrestling in Lethbridge. I haven't talked to Brady in years. Randy, there's little interactions on Instagram here and there, but I really haven't interacted with him either in a long, long time. Vance Nevada, I've had some interactions with and got to work with him before he retired. Bambi Hall, it's been a long, long time since I've seen her. Taya Valkyrie, I had a great relationship with, and I was very proud of her when she, moved on to bigger and better things. But I haven't talked to her in years either, to be honest. But I'm very happy for her success. Chris Knight, I see from time to time. He's working and wrestling still in Calgary. Trying to think who else. I almost got them all. Nick Price, I haven't seen in years either. It's been a while for a lot of these people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did I miss anyone?
I don't. I mean, not that I know of, but all the BC people, pretty much all still active here.
Yeah, that's true. Nick Price is at it still. Brady, Randy. Yeah.
Yeah. You've talked a lot about it, but quick sentence about working with Roddy Piper.
Oh, geez. Well, how could you? First of all, I couldn't turn it down. It was an amazing opportunity. Could not turn that down. Reality TV was rough, and Lance Storm warned me about it. That they can manipulate and just make things look a certain way, and they certainly did with my episode. But I don't regret the experience. It was awesome, and the promo game, man, his promos. It was all Roddy Piper, man. And I'm at a point now from all the practice and just doing promos all the time. I joke around and say sometimes I feel like I'm possessed by Roddy Piper. May he rest in peace, Robert Toombs. Like he's just pulling the strings, and I'm just, I'm like possessed, man. Like I don't even. It's come so natural to me that once that red light turns on, like I'm just off and running. Like I can rock this party 8 days a week. I say like it's. I don't know. I just say that he's there. His spirit is there, and he's pulling the strings on me, man. Like it's powerful, and I'm grateful for it. But we didn't get there overnight. It took time to apply what I learned from him and practice, reps. No different than working matches. It's the same with promos. It's all about reps. So, and I continue to do so. I'm never satisfied. I'll continue to always improve and get better with promos and my in-ring work.
That wasn't the only TV show that you've been featured on. Of course, there's lots of wrestling that you've done. But you're also on the TV show Uh-Oh, when they did a city segment.
You did your homework. You did your homework, man.
I try. Does that loss on live TV still stick with you?
Dude, that was a cool experience. I remember when they came in for auditions in St. Mary's Junior High. I was in grade 8, I think. It's like 12 or 13 years old. And I, put my name into like audition. And when they called my name to come up, I just jumped up and I just was a madman. I was just up there and made a huge scene. And I called myself Cam the Man. And they picked me just for being a lunatic. And I remember my drama teacher at the time, my first drama teacher, Mrs. Richard, she was looking at me from afar and her jaw was just like, I don't know, I just made a good impression and she knew it too. To be on TV, that was my first time ever on television. And it was super cool. I loved watching that show. That show was awesome. I'm sure being a young Canadian yourself and as a kid, like you remember it. And the Slime Tour came through Medicine Hat. And I got to do it. I came so close to winning. I was in first place the entire way, but I couldn't putt a golf ball with a shovel into a bucket. And I ended up losing. But I won a cool VTech phone. It was blue and see-through. And I was, one of the few kids at the time that got a cordless phone, and it was free off courtesy of YTV. So it was awesome, man. I still have it on VHS and I posted on YouTube. And it was a cool experience. Absolutely, man. My television debut at 13 years old.
Yeah, you were leading that whole way, and I'm like, oh no, what happened?
Yeah, man. That was so close. I was killing it. Yeah.
They need to bring back that technology too, that see-through neon technology. Like I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, man. That's awesome. 90s, man. The 90s.
Yeah, exactly. You've talked a lot about how, wrestling is your job. It is full time. You wrestle multiple times a week. You talked about selling merch earlier on in the interview. Um, Talk to me about any specific goals you have in wrestling, or any dream matches you might have still to this day.
Well, the goal is, man, like I feel like I have something to contribute on a positive level, on a higher level than what I'm doing now with a large company worldwide or in North America, that's somewhere WWE, TNA, AEW, or in Japan or Mexico, but somewhere I feel confidently that I can contribute in a positive manner to the world of professional wrestling on a larger scale, whether it be as an in-ring talent or a talent scout or as a trainer or as an agent. In some capacity, I can contribute in a positive manner to make this business better, for the viewers and for the future. I have no doubt in my mind. I've dedicated my life to this. I'm confident in that and saying that, and I put in the time, and I'm still always learning and getting better. But I'm at a point now. I feel I'm in my prime, and I just feel I can contribute on a larger scale. And I've been blessed by God above. He's providing for me. It's been amazing. I'm making more money than I ever have, thankfully. Just grinding away with my payoffs and my merchandise sales, and just that's all part of it. My first trainer, Chichi Cruz, said it best: Rome wasn't built in a day, and it took a lot of time and a lot of years to get where we are right now. Paying dues and figuring things out, just throwing things to the wall and seeing what sticks. And I finally made that organic connection with the people. I made myself marketable in every sense of the way, and I think I look for inspiration from like the band Kiss. They put their likeness on absolutely everything, from toilet paper to everything, and they make that money. And I've kind of stolen that same kind of format. I'm just putting my likeness on whatever I can, and I've become marketable, and I'm very blessed for that. I don't take it for granted, and I'm riding the wave, man. It's a good feeling to just do what you love to do. It took a long time to get here. 15-year-old Cam would be very proud if he looked into a crystal ball and seen what's going on right now, that I'm able to save money and put away money and make a living doing this. What was the other question? Sorry, I just went on a
That's
crazy
okay.
rant.
Yeah, just any dream matches that you might have.
Oh, dream matches. Oh, man. I mean, like, I feel, it's always magic when you have a hell of a baby face and a hell of a heel together. It's magic. When you got just two guys that know their roles and know what to do, it's magic when you get that great heel and great face together. And I think if MJF got signed to WWE and he was under the proper tutelage and the proper booking and just the proper way of, he could be that Roddy Piper white hot heel that he's capable of being. But I think the big machine, the big leagues, WWE needs to like make that happen for him. I don't know if it's going to happen in AEW. But if he was at that point of that white hot heel, you bring in a white hot baby face like myself, and I think we could do some good business and some good magic together. Honestly, that one pops into mind. I'm envious of Tommy Billington getting to work with Tiger Mask and in his retirement match. I think that'd be just amazing to work with Tiger Mask or a Jushin Liger or something like that. And all the power to Tommy. I know he's going to knock it out of the park. Just trying to think of new, modern day Mustafa Ali. I'm extremely impressed with. I think I see a lot of like Shawn Michaels type performance in him, like excitement and just and that's what I love Shawn Michaels too myself, and I respect and I see that in him. Just one of the best performers ever, and I see a lot of that in Mustafa Ali and just taking you on a roller coaster ride. And I think I would have some really good work with him as well, do some good business with him too. But honestly, I don't pay much attention to the modern stuff. I study the old stuff, man. I don't really have my finger on the pulse as much as I should, or I don't know. The style is different, and you don't have as many big superstars as there used to be. And I try and watch the guys that made big money and did this at a high level night after night. Honestly, I'm working more than a lot of guys are in the big leagues this day and age. Like I'm more busier than they are. So it's all about reps. And the guys from, the back in the day, the 90s, early 2000s, mid 2000s and 80s and 70s, they're working night after night. And that's why they were so damn good. And so that's what I study. I study those guys that we made the money and put on the miles. The money and the miles, as Hulk Hogan said. So
We
I
talked
hope
about
I
it.
answered your question.
Yeah, totally. I'm gonna manifest MJF versus Kamikaze all day now.
God bless you. Thank you.
You've been very generous with your time. I just have two more questions for you.
No trouble
Um,
at all.
Perfect. So we obviously talked about it at the very start. You've traveled all over the place. You've traveled all across Canada. You've done a little bit in the States. You've also traveled in the UK. We could talk
Correct.
about wrestling all day long, but talk to me about some of the food that you've had all around the world.
Okay, the UK, man, I have so much respect. Like their food is more regulated, so there's not as much crap and chemicals and preservatives put in it. It was way more pure. And plus, I was living on a farm in the UK with actually Nathan Angel, who's now Tristan Angels in NXT. Keep an eye on this stud, by the way, on a sidetrack note. He is going to do big things. I have nothing but faith in this kid. I believe in him, and I'm already seeing it. They're giving him the ball, and he's running with it. So keep your eyes on Tristan Angels in NXT. He's going to be a big, big star in my eyes. I have no doubt about it. But we lived together. His family took me in as one of their own, and we just eating lamb every night and drinking like well water, natural well water, and just the food there, just without all these extra, it's more regulated and all the extra crap they put in North America food. I remember talking to my family and friends over, video chat, and they just told me I had like a glow to me. Like it just something about it. It's just, yeah, man. There's a lot of good meals out in the UK though. Like they do an awesome breakfast out there, and yeah, I forget the name of it now. There's a special dinner they have. It's like a dinner roast. It's similar to like Newfoundland food, but it's like pudding and gravy and all this food toppled on one another. And I had a blast, man. I went to Amsterdam as well for my birthday, and my biggest vice out there, you believe it or not, I'm not a pervert by any means, because that's when you think Amsterdam, you think of like the window shopping you can do there. But I was doing a different type of window shopping. The food, the pastries out there was insane. It was crazy. Every window there's just all these crazy pastries and donuts and cookies, and I was a pig when I went to Amsterdam, man. That was yeah, the food was fantastic in Europe, absolutely.
Well, one day I'll get there, but I'll watch from afar, and the stories are making that much better to get there one day. You've been crushing it for years now. You're crushing it right now with CWE. You're like you said, you're running what seems like 8 shows a week, or 8 days a week. Sorry.
Yeah,
Uh,
man.
Talk to me about any of your upcoming matches that you have to share with the fans.
July 18th from August 4th is an 18-day tour with Canadian Wrestling's Elite across Manitoba, Saskatchewan, and Alberta. 18 days in a row, night after night after night. And I'll be defending my CWE championship. The headliner we're bringing in is Trevor Lee, formerly Cameron Grimes. And yeah, it's time to get rocking and rolling. That's CWE is my bread and butter. That's what's really helping pay the bills out of everything else. That and Pure Power Wrestling. And then I just fill my schedule in accordingly when I'm not touring, which is few and far between. I'm very busy, one of the busiest in North America, thankfully, in Canada. But yeah, that's the schedule. And then I'll be in Ontario in September for 12-day tour. And then there's a 23-day tour in November for CWE once again, 23 days in a row. I'll be going from middle of November to early December. Excuse me. And then in between that, I'll be doing Pure Power Wrestling dates and fitting in whatever else I can. But I've hit a point now where I'm trying to give myself more rest and recovery in between the tours. I'm committed to Pure Power Wrestling, so I like to take them in. But besides that, I just been trying to make sure I get proper rest because I'm hitting it hard. So I love it. That's how I'm paying the bills. That's putting in the work, but in a different way that other people do 9 to 5. But that's the job.
You know what you signed up for. Your
Yes, sir.
your list of matches is almost like the list of Jericho back in WCW.
Yeah, it's getting crazy, man. I did 158 last year, and I'm on the road of possibly surpassing that. I think I probably will. Time will tell when we hit December, but I think I'm getting there. It's probably gonna beat 158. So staying busy.
Yeah, good for you, man. Well, sounds like
Thank
you're
you.
stretching. Sounds like you're taking care of your body. You've got a lot of good stuff on the way, and I will continue to manifest you versus MJF in the
Uh,
very near future. We'll call it. and hoping for nothing but the best for the future for Cam ikaze.
Cam ikaze, thank you so much for your time, buddy.